Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and wow, okay, so we this morning I was looking at this and it looks like we had hit, right now we're at $1.70. I think we've gone as high as $1.71 this morning. Here, I'll check it out, but look up here. One thing I said 2 or 3 years ago is that this market is not, and I said it when it was $100 billion, this market's not going into a trillion. This is going into trillions, trillions and trillions. And all that we were really waiting on is for Wall Street to put themselves in a position where they could get paid, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? Okay, so we're at 2.1 trillion in this total market, and XRP is at 169. It's been going 169 to it's been as high as 173. Okay, some interesting things are happening today. So look, this is from Crypto Bull. He says, XRP update, looking at the 1 hour, and again, I'm not a chart guy. That's why I show you some things from other chart guys. You can decide for yourself if any of these guys are good or bad. I look at it every once in a while myself when the market takes off, and I know that you would like to see some of this too. So I try to provide some of these guys that are doing it. So this guy is calling for, he's expecting $2.11 by Thursday, a slow and steady reaccumulation, then a sharper move up, and that's what he's expecting. Now, sometimes it's fun to go look on TradingView and watch what some of these guys that are working with these charts are saying, and I was watching this one this morning, and again, I don't know, these chart people could be totally full of it, but it's still kind of interesting to listen to what they have to say. Listen to what this guy.
So I'd say the first target after we break 8 all-time highs is around, it's about between $7 to $9. However, I'm going to go on a whim and say that $10 will be a psychological level that we will want to get through. I actually had my eyes set on $12. Maybe we get something like a tag into the $12 region and something like that. But honestly, this has the potential to go a lot higher than that. It just depends on the momentum and the timing with this alt season. Like, it could really and truly go as high as $26 and then even as high as $50. I know it sounds insane, but it's cryptos, and this is
wowzers. I hope he is right. Now, yesterday, this is a true story. My mother called me. Now, she listens to my channel. She's been listening to my channel for over 2 years. She will listen to my channel while she's cooking and different things like that. For the first time in over 2 years, she called me yesterday and wanted to know where she could go and buy XRP. And I told her to head for Uphold, because Uphold is one of the few exchanges that has had the guts to hang in there, because there has been no declaration that XRP is a security. And so they said they'll just list it until they're told that it is. In other words, when the SEC is ready to make an actual decision, then they'll take it off. Okay, now moving along, I wanted to point this out because this has been missed, folks. In a very, very quiet manner, XRP has crept up on Bitcoin. Now, this number might not be ready, but I said XRP is up 790% on the year, Bitcoin up 830% on the year. CNBC and the financial media have tried their best, but speed kills and actual utility kills, hashtag zero doubt. What I'm referring to here is this. If you look right here, look at the percent, this is the on the year, XRP 828% with an SEC lawsuit. Bitcoin with all the backing of the traditional media. The only people they'll allow to talk about crypto on CNBC is Anthony Pompliano, Mike Novogratz, and the boys, and all they will talk about is Bitcoin, because if they talk about the real tech, they'd be in trouble. So that's all they allow. Now look at that. You know what this? Do you know what this? You know what this tells you? See, I believe that these people who in the media who parade out a narrative instead of telling the population the truth, I believe that what you're looking at right here is positive proof that people aren't stupid. You can try to float a narrative all you want, but ultimately the truth floats to the top. And that's what this is, because the truth is that Bitcoin and proof of work don't work. Now, just because CNBC and them don't want to tell you this right now, eventually they'll be telling you. But to watch all of these people being activated right now, after I've covered them for over 2 years and watched them at various stages try to scare people out of this, and make no mistake, these people know who's accumulating by these institutions that are accumulating behind the scenes. If I've learned anything in the last 2 years by covering this, I've learned that lying, and they call it talking your book, but it's actually just lying. Lying at the institutional level on Wall Street, it's lying is institutionalized. That saying one thing while you do another. That's just not how. That's not how I was raised. But it's how a lot of these people, I think they see it as a means to an end. Anything's justified as long as you get that return. But let me tell you what, I've seen more lying about what was actually going on over the last 2 years, and the same people that were trying to scare everyone out of this just even a year ago are now the biggest. They're the biggest cheerleaders, and I called it 2 years ago. I said they would be. I'm about to show them to you. Speaking of cheerleaders, watch this. And this is about Jim Cramer. I said he's so activated, it's like they put batteries in him, program him to talk about Bitcoin, and wind him up. Watch this.
Back to Squawk. We've got some news from MicroStrategy this morning. According to an 8K, the company will now pay non-employee directors all fees for their service in, you ready for this? Bitcoin instead of cash. Payment amounts will remain the same and will be nominally denominated in US dollars. When payment is made, the amount will be converted from dollars into Bitcoin by the payment processor and deposited into the digital wallet of the director. Fascinating new development in all of this world. Let's get right to CNBC headquarters. Jim Cramer joins us now. I want to talk Microsoft Nuance, but what do you make of that, and what does it say about crypto?
Well, it just says that you got to buy Coinbase when that deal comes, even though it's a $100 billion deal. This has become common knowledge that there are many companies that are going to switch. MicroStrategy has always been the leader, Andrew. So I think others are going to follow. Do I want to be paid in Bitcoin? I think that you can pretty much quickly transfer that to dollars if you want. So it's a much more fluid market than a year ago. So I get it. It's kind of like being paid
would you
in
take
foreign
compensation in Bitcoin?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
He's totally sold himself out.
Yes, I would. I think that it's this is a $2 trillion market, maybe going to $3 trillion. It's become, when you start hearing the common knowledge, different firms going for it, I think it's a kick. I want to know how it is. I want to know, this would be something. Do you think it could be switched from ordinary income to capital gains? That's what I want to know, because holy cow, if it is a I'm sorry.
But Jim, here's my question. I'm not doing just a switch from cash or from US dollars into Bitcoin. If we set your salary right now as Bitcoin, and Jeff Shell could be watching, are you willing to ride out whatever happens to it?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I may demand it.
Hey, CNBC, if you're listening, I've got a better idea. This guy just figured this out. I've been saying that this market was going to go over $1 trillion and way beyond for 2 or 3 years. Why don't you just hire me and quit wasting your money on this guy? But I don't want to be paid in Bitcoin. I want to be paid in XRP. There you go. Okay. Now, further showing you that he's activated, completely activated, or bought and paid for, sold. Working on Coinbase piece. I'm a big believer in crypto, and I liked what I heard about Coinbase, but there is a price not worth paying. So please, let's be careful and not ignore that there's a limit to what will work here. All right, now, This Barry Silbert tweet is very important because it has everything to do with, look, from day one, we've called this, the people out here in YouTube land, we've been calling all of this for a long time now. This is the second coming of the dot-com boom, but that was the internet of information. This is the internet of value. This is .com on steroids. But this time, Wall Street learned some lessons. You're not going to see companies going public that aren't making money, like pets.com and all that. You're not going to see that. You're seeing companies that are going public now that are literally making millions and billions of dollars. That's what you're about to see. In conjunction with that, the hordes are about to arrive, and it starts tomorrow, which is the Coinbase IPO. How about them apples? So Barry Silbert says, already seeing the Coinbase effect on private company valuations in the crypto space. This is why I've been telling you about this. When you see the frenzy that begins tomorrow with Coinbase, you need to be looking to places like Link2, because this is where, if you're an accredited investor, this is where you can get a piece of the action before the IPO frenzies happen. Okay? I'm just looking on their platform. I know for a fact every once in a while they have Kraken on here. Right now they've still got some uphold left. These are also some of these exchanges with the potential of either being bought or going public one day. And that's why I'm actually investing my own money in some of these. But I've got a link to in the description of my videos to Link2, and you can download their app from Apple or from the Google Play Store. But it's linqto.com. You need to go check them out. They are a sponsor, and I am a customer. All right. So then I put this out. This was another. Let me let you watch the video yet, and then I'll tell you what I said about it. I mean, CNBC and Wall Street is so freak. It's like you're literally. I mean, all the world is literally a stage, folks. You are watching these people are. It's like a marketing program that's being rolled out. Watch.
Time Magazine has partnered with Grayscale to create a new educational crypto video series. Time will be paid for the series in Bitcoin, and the company will hold Bitcoin on its balance sheet. 3 weeks ago, Time posted a listing for a CFO job, and one of the requirements was comfort with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. The magazine recently sold 3 of its covers as NFTs. The CEO of Grayscale, by the way, Michael Sonnenschein, is going to join us at 8:15 a.m. Eastern as we've seen the I guess you call it the leading cryptocurrency closing in maybe on 63,000, but above 62,000 this morning.
So there you go. All right, and I said the traditional financial media has been activated big time. This was always the plan leading up to the first blockchain IPO, Coinbase. This is what sets it all off. They knew this was the internet boom 4.0 10 years ago. The big boys are ready with custody now. Strap in. That is what they were waiting on. Is they were waiting on the Goldman Sachs, the JP Morgan. We've told you about the announcements over the last few weeks. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, BNY Mellon, all of the big players, State Street, have announced that they're about to have custody of digital assets. Okay, that's what they were waiting on, and it's already in place. They just haven't come out and said, okay, here, now you can put it here. But I believe that's going to come in conjunction with a Coinbase IPO sooner rather than later. And you know why? Because I don't think they were going to let a Coinbase go and do that IPO unless the traditional financial guys were sitting there ready to receive the assets of this new wealthy class. Okay? It wasn't just a new asset class, it's a new wealthy class that comes with it. And they want to be able to hold those assets and manage those assets. Coinbase IPO, crypto ETF approval, Ripple settlement, major traditional bank crypto custody announcement. This was always about Wall Street being ready to make money on blockchain. What if we are about to watch all the dominoes fall? I think there's a good chance. And then here's more people coming to the party. The New York Stock Exchange. It's a major milestone when a company lists on NICE and begins trading for the first time. Today, we're celebrating that moment by launching New York Stock Exchange first trade NFTs. I mean, can you see it? Can you see the marketing plan roll out? Then Raoul Pal, who used to be of Goldman Sachs, well, XRP's up 350% since that little bomb and 36% versus Bitcoin. And I have no strong view on it as a crypto asset, but from a trading perspective, it was one hell of a decent risk reward. No smugness. I'm sure I'll screw something up soon, and I have no view on XRP longer term. And then he's retweeting his tweet where he's warming up to XRP. I believe he knows all about XRP. If he actually looked into what XRP was and what it represents, he'd be all over it. But I think he, just like everybody, has, for whatever the reasons are, they're told to stay away for now. And I do mean for now. And I did a little shout out to the traditional news media. Hey, and called them all out. Breaking: XRP is about to pass Bitcoin in returns in returns for the year. Your audience needs to know about better tech that's faster, cheaper, more scalable, and better for the climate than Bitcoin. Will they pick it up? We'll see. If they don't pick it up, that's fine, because what I've seen in the media in my lifetime is if you're not telling your audience the truth, eventually you lose your audience. So if you're floating a narrative instead of what the truth is, you eventually lose your audience. And if they lose their audience, maybe I pick up their audience. So really, it's kind of neither here nor there. If they don't want to tell you the truth, then I'll tell you the truth, and social media will just take their audience over time. That's the way I've noticed that things work. Now, this was an article yesterday from this Rosalind Layton again on Forbes, okay? It was about five New Year's resolutions for cryptocurrency, and she's basically talking about what the SEC needs to do, the new SEC, when they come in. Number 4, the SEC should withdraw its lawsuit against Ripple. Just hours before he left the building, former SEC Chair Clayton lobbed a lawsuit against Ripple Labs, operator for global settlement system using XRP, the world's third largest cryptocurrency. The suit alleges that Ripple, after 7 years, has been transacting with a security, not a currency, and thus seeks to punish the company for failing to register and to bar its founder and executive from participating in the crypto market. Such a question could have been answered with notice and comment rather than a lawsuit. In any event, the SEC's case has a fatal flaw in relying on the Howey test from SEC versus H.J. Howey in 1946. According to law professor J.W. Verrett of George Mason University in Real Clear Policy Discussion, a security is an investment contract where the holder participates in a common enterprise with the seller, but former CFTC chairman Chris Giancarlo argues XRP is not an investment and there is no commonality between its holders and Ripple. XRP is a medium of exchange and settlement. However, even if Ripple wins in court and the company has asserted it will fight vociferously, the SEC will have already done its damage to the open source XRP ledger and every developer using it. The lawsuit has chilled other crypto enterprises, not to mention Ripple itself. Most defendants in regulatory enforcements never go to court because of the cost. Instead, they settle. Apparently, Ripple tried to settle the question for years, but it appears that getting a headline was more important to Clayton. This abuse demonstrates what many legal scholars observe as the fundamental unconstitutionality of an administrative agency like the SEC combining in one body an administrator, rulemaker, and judge, and thus violating the separation of powers clause. That's a pretty powerful article she wrote. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe. Hit the like button and tell your friends and family. If you want to see just how bad that Jay Clayton looks, go back into my Twitter thread and watch some of the videos I've put out over the last few days.